Hello. So in this video, we're going to continue with the Pong tutorial, and we're going to make the game actually multiplayer. So right now, both of the paddles move with the mouse, and we want to actually get the left paddle to move with the keyboard. So I'm going to show you the reference in P5 because there are lots in the event section here. There are lots of different things that happen with the keyboard. So if we did like key press or key release, key type, that would just be the one moment when we pressed a key. But we want it to be like if we hold down a key that the paddle continues to move. So we're going to use the Wasda controls. So if the player presses the W key, we want the left paddle to move up. And then if the player presses the S key, we want the left paddle to move down. But we want it to continue to move as the player is holding the button. So we actually want this key is down function here. Right, so the way that works is we actually use it inside an if statement. And we say if key is down of some kind of variable here, then if that is true, then make something happen. Right, so you can see how here it makes the X and the Y's change if I am pressing those keys there. Right, now we have to use the key codes for this. So I'm going to click on the key code names listed here. This has a nice little thing here that tells me what the key codes are. So for W, it's 87, and then for S, it's 83. All right, so the way we use that is let's make a new function. I have this function move paddle, which you'll see how we're going to kind of steer away from that direction. But outside of that function, I'll make a new function called move left paddle. And I'm going to use an if statement to say if something, parentheses, and then curly braces. All right, so if some kind of a condition, then make the paddle move in a certain way. So it's if key is down, that function, but with the number 83, which stands for W, if that equals true. At that moment, I want left paddle dot Y to decrease by 1. We can play around with the speed exactly. I want it to move up. I want it to be less down, so that's why I'm decreasing it. All right, so then I will do an else if statement. Key is down. 87 for the S. That equals true. And then I want left paddle dot Y to increase because I want it to move down. Now if I run it, it's not going to work quite yet because I've only defined the function. I haven't called it. So I'm going to go to where I would call the function here. Now notice how I'm still saying move paddle, right paddle, right? That's good. But then move paddle, left paddle. I don't want to say that anymore exactly. All right, I want to use my new function and say move left paddle. Now I could go about renaming this function, but I'm just going to keep it the way it is. All right, so I am having kind of a strange way when I preview it here. So I'm going to save my code and test it. If I say file, save first, and then file, share, present, I should get it to work in this version here. All right, so you can see how only the right paddle is moving with the mouse. And I do get the other paddle to then move with the keys here, right? So now I got multiplayer. So the speed is very slow, so we probably do want to make this a little bit bigger. So if we change it to 3, we could just keep playing with the numbers. And it seems like maybe I flipped like exactly what I want to do here, seems like it's opposite, so swap these numbers to say 87 and then 83. Right, so if I say, yep, still getting the strange error here. So if I say file save, and then my present screen here, if I just refresh that, I'm getting, yep, 3 seems to be a pretty good speed that I like. Yeah, and have it correctly with my keys here. All right, so now we've made it multiplayer.